हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
माता जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम। जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम और ग्लोरीज टू प्रभुपाद।
माता जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम। जय श्री प्रभुपाद। शुक्राने माता जी और जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
हरे कृष्ण।
Okay, we'll begin now. Just share the presentation. Today will be a short discussion. ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपा स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। So we are reading from Nectar of Devotion, second wave. The first wave was basically about the 6 characteristics of pure devotional service. 3 types of Uttama Bhakti. Why not sadhana and prema? Okay, so basically there are 3 kinds of. Last week we discussed about the definition of Uttama Bhakti. Rupa Goswami quotes Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttama. And we discussed Narada Pancharatra, Narad Muni's definition of Bhakti, Bhagavatam definition of Bhakti, And we saw how Srila Rupa Goswami consolidated from Bhagavatam and from Pancharatrika and gave this definition of bhakti of Anya Birashita Shunya. Now, this chapter begins with there are three kinds of bhakti. There is sadhana bhakti, there is bhava bhakti, there is prema bhakti. Those who have heard about the stages in bhakti, I am sure everyone must have heard. Begins with Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anatha Nivritti. Then there is Nishtha, there is Ruchi, and there is Ashakti. These seven, they come under Sadhana Bhakti. And then there is Bhava Bhakti, there is Prema Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti is of two types. One is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, one is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is performed according to the injunctions given by Shri Guru and the scriptures. Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti is still, it is under guidance of Shri Guru and Shastra, but it is done with spontaneous attraction or love for Krishna. Now, if we see after Nishtha, there is Ruchi. In Ruchi means there is a strong taste, Ashakti, there is strong attachment to Krishna. So that point of time, we do have a choice to take the path of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti because it is done with great attachment to Krishna. One difference is one can continue the path. This will be a discussion much later on. First few sessions will be on Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, which is most relevant to all of us or most of us. Okay, then Bhava Bhakti. Bhava Bhakti is not in the realm of sadhana. Sadhana means it's a practice. Sadhana means we are trying. That's what sadhana means. Bhava has some kind of perfection. Bhava, it contains direct realization of Krishna. In sadhana, we don't directly realize it, but we practice it. Bhava has direct realization of Krishna. Goal of sadhana bhakti is Bhava Bhakti. In Bhava Bhakti, there are still some impurities. And that's why the question may be asked, why did not Rupa Goswami say sadhana bhakti and prema bhakti? Why he put Bhava Bhakti? Because Bhava Bhakti is like an intermediate between sadhana. Once we go out of realm of sadhana, then Bhava starts. But there is still some impurities. So we haven't directly attained prema, but we are out of sadhana bhakti also. Because it's directly Krishna revealing to us. So it's not a practice anymore. It's like Krishna has revealed himself to us partially. In sadhana, Krishna may not reveal to us. It's a practice. It may be done with attachment. It may become just because Guru and Shastra says. But Bhava Bhakti, there is realization. But there may be some impurities that may still exist there. Bhava Bhakti Rasa does not fully manifest. And then Prema Bhakti has zero impurities. Rasa fully manifested. Direct realization of Krishna which is continuous. Then that is Prema Bhakti. In sadhana bhakti only, it may take a very long time. His Grace Yugal Kishore Prabhuji always mentions Anatha Nivritti is a very long stage. One witnesses envy, anger, pride, lust, all these anathas within them. To the extent these anathas goes down, to that extent one becomes more and more stable. And one develops that taste and the attachment one has for Krishna is directly proportionate to the extent the anathas are going down. And if we want to speeden up our stage of anartha nivritti, it requires sincerity. Sincerity means strictly follow four regulative principles. It is said when we break any regulative principle, we block the mercy of Krishna that is coming down to us. And if our sadhana is sincere, Indra Prabhu says we can cross the stage of anartha nivritti in 5 years. Indra Prabhu says. But everything is dependent upon how seriously we take up this process. Process must be rendered under able guidance. And to the extent it goes down, we start developing a taste and attachment for Krishna. Jadguru Prabhu once mentioned we don't have to do anything special. We just have to be on it for a period of time. It is also described pure devotees, they have explained, they say, we won't even realize as the anathas are going down and as taste and attachment to Krishna is developing, we won't even realize, and it will be naturally awarded to us. All that is required from our side. Like Jagadguru Prabhu once said, do you want to experience what I experience? Everybody raised their hands. Then he said, just keep doing what I am doing. Just keep chanting. Just keep in devotee association. Just be in the process. I have seen like many times, I personally noticed, and it was very interesting fact that His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he does many Zoom calls, especially he did many Zoom calls during COVID time. And Maharaj would ask once in a while, are there any questions? And devotees almost bring up some, Maharaj, these anathas, Maharaj, we're not able to experience any taste in Krishna. Maharaj, I mean, how do we develop compassion? How can we remain humble? How can we develop gratitude? And there are varieties of questions that devotees would ask. And Maharaj's answer will always be the same. And Maharaj would answer, stay in devotee association, very sincerely practice, don't break the four regulative principles, and everything will be given to us. And somebody else will ask some other question, and Maharaj would say, the answer that I gave to previous question applies to your question also, Prabhuji or Mataji. So I see like this is the answer for every question. We hear as we progress in our Krishna consciousness, all the qualities of devatas manifest within us. So it's just a matter of lot of emphasis on devotee association, because in association we will grow in the right direction. Association. So the answer to everything is sincerely chant your rounds, sincerely practice sadhana bhakti. Everything will naturally come to us. There are many people who try to practice raganuga bhakti when the anarthas are not yet purified. Then they go into the realm of sahajyas. Sahajyism means we are trying to practice a level of bhakti which we are not qualified for, but we may assume that we are qualified for. Then it goes into that subtle realm of sahajyism. There are many Babajis in Radha Kund, and there are many people who directly propagate why it is sadhana bhakti, directly meditate on Krishna Leela, Krishna's pastimes, and in this way directly jump in that direction. Directly practice Raganuga Bhakti. But our Guru Parampara, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, and our Acharya, Samsthapak Acharya is Prabhupada, and our Acharya for the whole Gaudiya Vaishnavism is Rupa Goswami. Prabhupada says this whole ISKCON is under the guidance of Srila Rupa Goswami, whose book we are reading. In the whole way, Rupa Goswami is dedicating 16 chapters to Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, or 14 chapters to Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, and then two chapters, because everything else will naturally follow. If everybody has to take up the path of Raganuga Bhakti, then why would Rupa Goswami spend so much time explaining how to practice Bhakti, how to practice Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti? There is no shortcut, and actually shortcuts leads to fall down only. what I have heard, what I have listened, what I have seen. Shortcuts doesn't work in the path of bhakti. Our progress in our Krishna consciousness is based on grace. And grace comes by sincerely practicing our sadhana under guidance of devotees. Now, this is a definition of sadhana bhakti. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sadhana vidha nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam hridi sadhyata. Practice of bhakti executed with the senses, which produces the stage of bhava, is called sadhana bhakti. So what is sadhana bhakti? It is said bhavet sadhya means kriti means senses. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya. Practice of bhakti executed with the senses. Eyes are engaged in serving Krishna. Ears are engaged in serving Krishna. Tongue is engaged in serving Krishna. Mouth to speak about Krishna. Tongue to taste Krishna prasad. Hands and legs to render various service to Krishna. When the bhakti executed with the senses. Now there's a difference between sadhana bhakti and bhava bhakti. Bhava bhakti is bhakti executed with the mind actually. You can sit at one place and you can perform bhakti. It's a very advanced stage of bhakti. Like we may see our different spiritual masters, our Guru Devs, they may not do a lot of physical seva. They may stay at one room for the whole day and night. But they are on a very high platform bhakti, which is bhava bhakti. But in our stage, our stage of practice is practicing bhakti with our senses. Practice of bhakti executed with the senses, and the goal which produces the stage of bhava is called sadhana. The goal of sadhana bhakti, we can come to bhava. Sadhana bhakti will remove the anarthas, make us steady, develop taste, a deep attachment, and bhava. Once we attain bhava, our sadhana bhakti purpose is served. Directly practicing bhava bhakti or raga nuga bhakti is like it won't work. Especially, I'm talking about myself, people in this age of Kali, especially born in this time, place, circumstances, we are not so pure souls. We have everything started from lust, envy, pride, anger, full. We're not such great devotees that we can just engage our mind and thinking about Krishna. So very, very important to understand how to practice sadhana bhakti. This bhava is not artificially created, but is eternally existent and is simply manifested by the Lord's spiritual energy. Then it all nitya siddhasya bhavasya. Nitya means eternally. Siddhasya bhavasya. This bhava is there in the heart of all living entities. At some point of time when we were in Krishna, in the past, we all had that deep relationship with Krishna. Somehow or other, by the misuse of our free will, we came down and we lost it. So Prabhupada says naturally awakened. Now we are covered by material desires. We are covered by attachments. We are covered by ahankar. And that's why the bhava for Krishna is not awakening. So many external consciousness and absorption is there. So now first we have to get rid of what we have acquired for so many lifetimes. And as it's just like cleansing, as you get rid of what is artificially imposed upon us, which is ahankar and attachments, what is not our real nature, whatever is artificially imposed upon us, when you cleanse, you will see inside bhava will start awakening. It's there covered. You cleanse, it awakens like a fire, and you will be consumed by that bhava and prema. And the cleansing process is now see, cleaning is difficult. So cleansing process is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Example, Prabhupada gives child walking. Child has natural capacity to walk. Little practice he can start. Likewise, Bhava is eternally present. Prema is eternally present. Every spirit soul is completely pure devotee, meant constitutionally to render pure devotional service, but covered with attachments. A man inflicted with the material disease is cured by a psychiatrist. Conditioned soul inflicted by Maya's illusion is cured by sadhana bhakti. If somebody has mental problem, go to psychiatrist, he will rectify. So somebody has attachments, ahankar, anarthas, go to sadhana bhakti and the conditioning will be removed. Bhava and prema will awaken. This is the definition of sadhana bhakti. Essence of sadhana bhakti. Narad Muni spoke to Maharaj Yudhishthira. Somehow or other one has to concentrate one's mind and senses also on Krishna, either by hatred, devotional service, fear, affection, or lust. Rishi Maharaj says, somehow or other concentrate your mind. Now, now think about it. Somehow or other concentrate your mind means the mind is not attached. It's not spontaneous for the mind to think of Krishna. So Narad Muni says, Kisi prakar, somehow or other they try to remember Krishna. Means, somehow or other means, practice karo, try. That's why this statement, Rupa Goswami says, signifies sadhana bhakti. Whether you hate him, whether you love him, whether you are afraid of him, whether you have affection for him, whether you have lust for him, whether out of bhakti, somehow or other remember Krishna. Now, there are examples. Kamsa became liberated thinking of Krishna out of fear. Shishupal out of hatred thinking about Krishna. Pandavas out of affection thinking about Krishna. Gopis out of calm, lust, which is prema basically, thinking about Krishna. Anybody thinking about Krishna and bhakti remaining, all the devotees. Anybody thinking about Krishna in any way will be purified. The meaning is that the Lord grants auspiciousness even when persons show fear or envy towards him. But Rupa Goswami already established Anukulena Krishna. Bhakti has to be Anukul, favorable. That removes fear, that removes hatred. Out of lust, out of affection, out of devotional service. So Yudhishthira Maharaj says, somehow or other think of Krishna. Prabhupada said the most practical way for us to think of Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. Most practical way for us to think about Krishna. I mean, many of us have realized how difficult it is to close our eyes, chant, and see the form of Krishna. If you have that realization, it is Krishna's mercy on you. But many may not have. So name and form, non-different. How many of us can spontaneously, while doing things, think about Krishna's gunas and Krishna's pastimes? How difficult. Prabhupada, all glories to our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We are so conditioned, so we are so naturally forgetful of Krishna, and we are so spontaneously attached to matter, anarthas, ahankar. We are so filled with this thing, and Krishna is so far away from us. It requires a genius brain to make us Krishna conscious. Such low born people, I'm talking about myself. How do we make them Krishna conscious, transfer them back to Godhead, who do not have any adhikar to think of Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastime, who are so fallen and degraded? How can these people can attain prema? Unheard of. Srila Prabhupada made Krishna consciousness very practical. Okay, you did Mangal Arati. Now you worship the deities. You dress them, you feed them, cook for them. Now you chant, at least sometime you chant, even though by force. Chant this much time, Hare Krishna. You try to spread Krishna consciousness movement. You try to distribute books. You try to serve in the temple. You try to arrange programs. Wow. If, trust me, I'm telling you with my experience, any one of us left alone, no devotee association, practice Krishna consciousness. If I'm right, most of us may fail actually. We even don't realize how we are getting pushed by association. We are not so advanced. Prabhupada says don't try to imitate Haridas Thakur. That I can be in one room and I can become Krishna conscious and full. This association, now there is Sunday feast, there are many programs in middle, there are services, there are deities cooking, there is cleaning, and there is reading groups, and the Prabhupada has given us books to read, has given us programs to engage us, has given us practical way to serve, host festival, do Rath Yatra, promote. Wow, this is called genius. Too high, yeah, too low. Prabhupada has given a practical way approach it. How merciful actually. This is called empowerment. Vijay Maharaj says somehow or other concentrate your mind on Krishna. Srila Prabhupada program somehow or other giving us opportunity to remember Krishna. It is very, very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness without devotee association. So please respect and value the association that we have in our life. We realize the value of devotee association only when we lose the devotee association. Then we feel like, what was, when Mataji, Jai Shri Mataji was mentioning one time in one of the conference calls, she said, our life is getting dragged by devotee association, although we may not see that, but it is naturally getting dragged. So somehow or other, fix your mind on Krishna, and that's what Srila Prabhupada has given us. Then, when the activities of bhakti arise, not out of natural taste for bhakti, but according to the orders of Guru or Shastra, it is called Vaidhi Bhakti. For example, Prabhuji, let's go and distribute some books. All right. So now, are you spontaneously attracted to talk to people about Krishna and distribute books? Maybe not. But it's the right thing to do. Let me do it. Now, this is sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means it may not arise naturally out of taste. Do you like to get up in the morning and do Mangal Arati? Maybe not. Do you like to get up in the morning and chant? Maybe not. Do you like to take care of deities? Do you like to cook? Maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Either ways, if you do it, it's Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti in Bhagavatam, Sukadev told Parikshit, one who desires to be free from all miseries and fears must hear about, glorify, remember Krishna, the super soul of all. I think yesterday we were discussing about how many of our decisions are inspired by fear. Many times we lie is also because of fear. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu one time said, we have more faith on our fears than we have faith on Krishna's protection. And that's why we go into all these anxieties. The one who desires to be free from all miseries and fears must hear about, basically, if you want to become free from ahankar, if you want to become free from envy, anger, lust, and pride, and if you want to become free from our spontaneous attraction to this material world, if you want to become free from miseries and fears, you must hear about, glorify, remember Krishna, the super soul of all. Must always do that. So this Krishna consciousness is a benediction, a boon, a blessing that has come in our life to get rid of all that we have accumulated, which is not conducive and which is not a reality. That is what Krishna consciousness is. Very Bhakti in Padma Puran, always remember Vishnu, never forget Vishnu. All injunctions and prohibitions are dependent on these two rules. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Now, basically, that means sadhana bhakti. This is also a definition of sadhana bhakti. Because if we have spontaneous attraction, we will never forget Krishna. Now, Prabhupada says, now, Narad Muni somehow or other remember Krishna. Anybody who has remembered Krishna out of positive or negative emotions will liberate it. Somehow or other. All the rules and regulations to always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Anyone who desires to be free from all these things must hear, glorify, remember Krishna. Means this is all definition of sadhana bhakti. Rupa Goswami says. Because it's not spontaneous or natural out of love. It's because it's the right thing to do. Then Narada Pancharatra, all activities prescribed in the scriptures aimed at the satisfaction of the Lord are called Vaidhi Bhakti. By such performance of bhakti under direction of Guru, one attains Prema Bhakti. Prema is there, Prema is waiting for us, Bhava is waiting for us. We are all meant to be absorbed, consumed. Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Complete cleansing by holy name bathing, and we all this is our natural state. Let's sincerely try to cleanse ourselves so bhakti can awaken. Bhakti is not attained, bhakti is awakened because it is within the heart of all living entities. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabu Noy Shravanadi Suddha Chitte Korohe Udoy. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema, eternally residing in the heart of all living entity. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Korohe. चित्त को शुद्ध करना है. श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरणम के माध्यम से शुद्ध चित्त को शुद्ध करोगे, हार्ट को शुद्ध करोगे, करो योदो है, इट विल अवेकन. कुछ नहीं करने का आवश्यकता है. Sincerely Vaidhi sadhana bhakti is the key that will unlock what we are all hankering for. Everyone in this call is hankering for that Prema Bhakti, Baba Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Koroyodo. Then, under direction of then, Vaidhi Bhakti must be followed by everyone. Within and outside the four Varnas, social orders, and four ashramas, spiritual orders. If anyone in the Varnashram system fail to worship or intentionally disrespects the Lord, they will fall down into a hellish state of life. It is said that within or outside of the four Varnas or four ashramas, Vaidhi Bhakti must be followed by everyone within or outside the four Varnas or four ashramas. Basically, whether you eat meat, anybody who eat meat is Malecha. Whether you are outside the Varnashram system, they are called Yavanas. Whether you are Shudra, whether you are Kshatriya, whether you are Brahmana, whether you are mode of ignorance, whether you are mode of passion, whether you are mode of goodness, whether you are the most degraded soul like Shamananda Krishna or you are very elevated soul like yourself, Vaidhi Bhakti must be followed by everyone. Within and outside the four Varnas and the four Ashramas, everyone must follow Vaidhi Bhakti. Hearing, chanting, remembering, glorifying, how to spread the mission, thinking somehow or other remember Krishna. Fortune has knocked our doors and has brought Guru and has brought Krishna in our lives. somehow or other grab their feet. Somehow they remember in a state of humility. Somehow or other keep going. It is not easy to practice bhakti in this material world in Kali Yuga, where everything is odd only. Our heart is against us, our mind is against us, the environment is against us. But Guru and Krishna are favoring us. Their blessings is pushing us forward. Qualification for Vaidhi. Who can perform Vaidhi sadhana bhakti? Any fortunate person who has developed faith in the Lord is not too attached or detached, is qualified for Vaidhi bhakti. Conviction in the contents of the scripture is called Shraddha or faith. Basically, if you have faith in Shastra or Guru, okay, Bhagavad Gita says this, I must follow. That is a sign you have faith in the Lord's instructions, in the Lord's words. Somebody says, "Wait, Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, this is what Bhagavatam says." Oh, okay, then I should practice it. Means faith is there. Lack of faith means somebody wrote this is what Bhagavad Gita says. Oh, who has seen who is Krishna? This is all mythology. This is all written by humans, people like you and me. Now, no faith in Shastra, rejection of Shastra means they lack faith. They are not qualified to practice Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Anybody who has faith in the words of the Lord, and if they're not too attached or too detached, they are qualified for Vaidhi Bhakti. Now, Shuddha Bhakti requires more qualification, purity of the heart. But even if you are infested with anarthas, ahankar, attachment, you are still qualified for Vaidhi Bhakti if you have little Shraddha. Krishna on eligibility of Vaidhi Bhakti in Bhagavatam. If by good fortune one develops faith in the hearing and chanting of my glories and is neither too disgusted nor too attached to material life, he achieves perfection through the path of loving devotion to me. Those who are too disgusted take the path of Jnana Yoga, extreme renunciation. Those who are too attached do fruitive activities of Karma Yoga, very attached to the results of this world and very attached to this material world. Practice Karma Yoga then. Try to give the result to Krishna, then keep doing. But you are attached to doing and just try to, Karma Yoga. If you're too attached, too detached, then you take Jnana Yoga. But those who are balanced, Bhakti Yoga. Then qualities of Vaidhi Sadhaka. This is very nice verse. Devotees love this verse. Having awakened faith in the narrations of my glories. Means those who have faith in hearing about Krishna. They see value in hearing about Krishna. Having awakened faith in the narrations of my glories. This is very rare in itself. If you say there is birthday party, I will go. Prasada, food, I will go. There is Krishna Katha. People don't want to go. They will go after Katha is over for prasad and for socialization. Means they have not awakened faith in narrations of Krishna's glories. Those having awakened faith in the narrations of my glories, being disgusted with all material activities. Those who are disgusted, they know these. If I break the degraded principle, disgusting. I am a degraded, I am a fallen soul. They're disgusted. They don't want to do anything wrong. They don't want to lie. They know this is all wrong things. Nightclubs are there, bars and pubs are there, slaughterhouses are there. They know these are all wrong things. Illicit sex is there. They know this is wrong. Casinos are there. So being disgusted with all material activities, knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery. This is a quality a devotee should try to understand and realize, which is possible by Krishna's mercy. Knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery. This is a very difficult realization. We may have some realization of, yeah, this sense gratification is really miserable. But then this self gratification is needed. And this is something I'm looking for. But All sense gratification leads to misery. If you have realized it, I need your blessings. Knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery, who are disgusted with material activities, but still being unable to renounce all sense enjoyment. If they have realized, but they still cannot stop it. My devotee should remain happy and worship me with great faith and conviction. Even though he sometimes engages in sense enjoyment, my devotee knows that all sense gratification leads to miserable results, and he sincerely repents such activities. In other words, Krishna is telling, even though you know what is wrong, sometimes if you are helplessly forced to do things which are wrong, that may happen in your journey once in a while. That may happen. And slowly, slowly, you will get a deeper realization how every enjoyment is leading me to suffering gradually, especially regulatory principles. Every enjoyment is leading to suffering. But they may go through difficult phase, and then because they are fixed in the path of bhakti. It says, my devotee knows that all sense gratification lead to miserable results, and he sincerely repents. Oh, why did I do that? I'm such a degraded soul. I must have never done that. They repent. And then they know, then again, once in a while, they may do it, and again they repent. Again, they do something wrong, again they repent. And slowly, slowly, as the heart becomes more and more cleansed, as attachment fades away, everything is happening by the path of bhakti. A devotee in the beginning, before he is fallen soul anyways, once he start practicing bhakti, he falls down more frequently. I mean, he falls down frequently. After 5 years, he may fall down less frequently. After 10 years, he may fall down much less frequently. After 20 years, he may hardly fall down. After 30 years, he may never fall down. And this will happen. So Krishna says, but because my devotee has faith in my narrations, has faith in my name, has faith in my words, in my instruction, have faith in devotee association, gradually, gradually, he sincerely repents, and then gradually he becomes slowly, slowly fixed and fixed and fixed. And gradually, prema will also awaken. Back to Godhead is also avoided. This is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada who came in our life, mercy of our spiritual master. I mean, our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, they are so compassionate. They have unconditional love for us. They know how fallen, how degraded souls we are. Still, they care for us, they love us. This is mercy. So, with a grateful heart, if we can continue, we can continue. If we can continue, slowly we become pure. And then, if we become pure, then we must reciprocate what we have received, the compassion, the love, the selflessness, the sacrifice others have made for us. Everything that we have received, then we must reciprocate. Qualification for Karma Yoga: too attached to sense enjoyment. Such person can qualify for Bhakti by Sadhu Sangha. If somebody is too attached to sense object, they can do Karma Yoga. But they can also take to Bhakti. Those who are too attached to sense object can also take to Bhakti by Sadhu Sangha. Gyan Yoga: complete disgust with sense object. Such disgust arises by purification of the heart caused by practice of Nishkam Karma. Gyan Yoga, they perform Nishkam Karma Yoga initially. They are doing their work, no attachment to results. Doing so much labor and no attachment to results, and then they feel like, what is the point of doing? And then they give up everything they are doing. They become disgusted with everything material, all material action, all material results, all material activities. They just go to the forest, renounce everything, and practice the path of Jnana Yoga. Bhakti Yoga: devoid of extreme attachment due to unexpected association with it. Bhakti Yoga: devoid of extreme attachment due to unexpected association with exalted devotees. Bhakti Yoga is we may be very much attached earlier, but then we got devotee association. Now we are working and minimizing our detachment. Now everything that we were attached to previously, we may still have all those facilities, but now we are using our lives to sincerely practicing bhakti. So devoid of extreme attachment. Previously we had. That's why we work very hard and we want all the results, we want to enjoy everything. Great attachment to sense objects and everything that comes with the results of our work. But now we are devoid of extreme attachment due to unexpected association with exalted devotees. The association was unexpected. Just happens. We met devotees, and that's it. Path begins. If Krishna inspires us, bhakti once begins never stops. We gradually cultivate. As we cultivate, our attachment goes down. Whatever we may still be engaged in karma yoga, but now that is not the goal. Devotees may practice in karma yoga, but goal is only bhakti. So they are devoid now of extreme attachment due to unexpected association with exalted devotees. They can practice sincerely bhakti yoga. Then three types of adhikaris qualified for bhakti yoga. Shraddha in Shastra, faith in scripture, is the basis of all types of Vedic bhaktas. According to a degree of faith in the scripture, there will be classifications of person. Uttama adhikari, the devotee who is fully conversant with Shastra and logic, has deep faith, is qualified as Uttama. In Vaidhi Bhakti, Madhyamadhikari, the devotee who is not fully conversant with the scriptures and not an expert in arguing, but has firm faith in scriptures and Krishna Bhakti, is known Madhyamadhikari. Kanishtadhikari, who has weak faith and has little knowledge of Shastra, is called Kanishtadhikari. Basically, three types of devotees are qualified for Vedic Bhakti: Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Kanishtadhikari. Kanishtadhikari, no knowledge, very less knowledge, very less faith. Madhyamadhikari, great faith, not sufficient Shastric understanding. Uttamadhikari, great faith, great Shastric understanding. One may be defeated in argument, a Madhyamadhikari may become confused, but next day again he will be fixed in his practice of bhakti. Uttama can defeat the whole world and establish bhakti supremacy. And who is Kanishta, who is Madhyama, who is Uttama? Based on the faith in the Shastra. Shraddha in Shastra is the basis of all types of Vedic bhaktas. Okay, this we discuss in Nectar of Instruction, but this is again quoted by Rupa Goswami, so we have a slide on that. Four kinds of Vedic bhaktas, Sukritnas or pious people. There is four kinds of Vedic bhakta: Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani. Those who are distressed, who want wealth, who are inquisitive, who are looking for knowledge. Gajendra, Dhruva, sages of Naimashwarya, four Kumaras, they're all considered Vaidhi Bhakta. Why Vaidhi Bhakta? Because Raganuga Bhakta or Bhava Bhakta are those who have deep attachment for Krishna. Dhruva, Gajendra, sages of Naimashwarya are inquisitive. Let us hear. The four Kumaras of Brahman realized, but they don't have spontaneous attachment to Vishnu. They became, after smelling tulsi, after association of Narayan himself, they became Shuddha Bhaktas. But initially, they were like just Brahman realized. So all four are considered as neophytes. Artha Arthate Jigyasu Jnani. Gajendra just want freedom from crocodile, that's all. Dhruva just want wealth. Sages just inquisitive. And four Kumaras just Brahman realized. They are all called pious people or Vaidhi Bhaktas. All four types of are broad-minded Mahatmas because they approach Krishna, but they're all considered great souls because they approach Krishna. They gave up all their desires for distress, relief, wealth, inquisitive about Swargalok and liberation, hence took up pure devotional service. Gajendra was distressed. But when he saw Vishnu, when he became purified, he remembered the verses. It is said that Gajendra did not ask, "My Lord, relieve me from my distress," When Lord came, Gajendra said, "My Lord, here is a flower. I just want to offer you this flower out of love. Please accept this offering." So he gave up his desire to get relief from distress. He just offered out of pure love. He became a Shuddha Bhakta. Dhruv Maharaj wanted wealth, but when he saw Narayan, he said, "My Lord, nahi chahiye wealth. I don't want. Please engage me in your devotional service." Sages of Nimisharanya, they were inquisitive. What is Swargaloka? What is a planetary system? So many desires. So much they wanted to know. But they gave up all their desires for liberation for Swargalok, and they just became attached to Krishna and hearing about Krishna. The four Kumaras gave up their desire for liberation, for Brahman realization. They just became attached to Narayan. So they all gave up their desires for whether it is distress, for wealth, for being inquisitive or Swargaloka, or like four Kumaras for desire for liberation. And they all took up pure devotional service. Anybody who approach Krishna for any reason, that reason will go away. Shuddha Bhakti will remain. Why? Because Bhakti will remove the layer, which is a layer of contamination, that is producing or giving rise to so many other desires. When that is removed, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Savanadi Shuddhi Chitti Korayodaya. Bhava and Prema is there in the heart of all living entity. When that awakens, the heart becomes pure, all the desires are anyways gone away then. Among the four, Krishna says Gyanis are the best because they doesn't seek any material benefit. It is said sages and four Kumaras are higher in position than Gajendra and Dhruva. Because Gajendra and Dhruva, initially they wanted relief from distress and they wanted wealth. Dhruva Maharaj wanted wealth. So because sages Naimisharanya were not hearing for any material desire, they were just inquisitive. So they were higher. Higher than sages of Naimisharanya were four Kumaras. Why? Because sages of Naimisharanya did had material desires. But four Kumaras were free from all material desires. They were liberated souls. They just don't know Krishna, but they were already Brahman realized. Another example is Sukadev Goswami. They were in knowledge. Sukadev Goswami could not distinguish between wealth, woman, position, or dharam janam sundarim for him. He would walk naked without clothes, unaffected by any condition in this material nature. Liberated soul. So he's clearly in full knowledge, but he didn't realize, in the past time, both for four Kumaras also, they didn't realize Krishna. Although Sukadev Goswami is the parrot of Srimati Radharani by the Lord's internal potency, he acted as Brahman realized only, but immediately he got the fire of Krishna Bhakti when he heard Bhagavata. Another example is Narad Muni, who developed Vaidhi Bhakti by association of Bhakti Vedanta. Narad Muni, he did not have a spontaneous love for Krishna. He was just a simple maid servant who was not attached to sporting. He met Bhakti Vedantas. He served Bhakti Vedantas. He heard Bhakti Vedantas glorify the Lord. He learned from them how to practice meditation, how to remember the Lord, what to remember, how to remember. He practiced it. He developed taste. He developed attachment. He gave up his life and he became Sachitananda. Again, example of Vaidhi Bhakti. Okay, so that's all we have for today. If there any discussion, any question, we can take now. Does anyone has any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have one question.
Then
So, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, what material desire sage of Naimisharanya has? I thought they were interested in hearing. They were desiring. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji. Yeah.
some were yogis, some misunderstood Krishna, and they were thinking they were bringing Krishna at their own level. They all were different phases of life. Now, naturally, when there are different phases and different philosophical understanding, all kind of people were there. So naturally, they are not they are not considered as pure, because if they were pure, Bhakti would have naturally awakened within their heart, but they were attached to mystic powers. They had mystic powers, which it is also mentioned, Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Shakalaya, Shanta. Siddhi is also considered material desire. So it may not be very gross, like I need wealth or I need woman. They naturally it was not there, but Siddhi is there. So subtle forms were there.
But Prabhuji, then such people, why will they will be interested to inquire about Krishna? If they are, inquisitive to know about, you know, Krishna's Leela, they heard whole Bhagavatam. So, I mean, such person, if they are so mystic, Siddhi, they will not able, they are their own world. I mean, I'm little confused, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhu, see, but even no matter what path one chooses, one will not be satisfied without Krishna Bhakti, Prabhu. Until one is not satisfied, inquisitiveness is there, natural. I met a person who is reading Shankaracharya philosophy. He was a devotee, Shankaracharya philosophy, teaching also, becoming a jnani, doing many things. Came to the program and he said, I'm doing this, and then he says, I cry when I read Shankaracharya, I do this, Brahman. And then, sir, then why you are here? Nobody can be fully satisfied without Krishna Prema because it is not our constitutional position. Search will not stop till we attain the goal, Prabhuji. They were inquisitive. Otherwise, why would they sit and hear from Sutta Goswami if they are fully satisfied? And as per scripture, what Rupa Goswami says, Siddhi Kami Shakale Ashanta. They will always be unsatisfied. Shakale Ashanta. Ashanta means never peaceful. So if you lack something, then you are looking for it.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Now, some may have ahankar and they'll be like, this is my path and I don't believe in all these things. Like strong ahankar, and they will not listen to anybody. They are happy being unsatisfied and unpeaceful. That's ahankar. But these sages were much more advanced. And they had their path, but they were still seekers.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam.
Anand Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, I have this question. Like people who are not following four regulative principles, but they do have faith, not like complete faith, like little faith on scriptures or, like we say pious people. They are still eligible for, the Vedai sadhana bhakti, Prabhuji.
Yes. By sadhu sangha.
But eventually, Prabhuji, their faith should get the faith should increase and they should give up those things, right? If somebody is eating meat or they are having alcohol, though, because if they have faith in scriptures, so they are believing some part of scriptures, but not all. Like scripture says, four regulative principles everybody should follow, right?
What happens, Mataji, is when somebody has faith, when Krishna sees that their faith is genuine, Krishna will inspire their sadhu sangha. When the faith is genuine and matured to some extent, in sadhu sangha they'll become inquisitive and they would like to associate more. They would like to hear more. They would like to learn more. They would like to grow. They have the desire. That desire come from within. When the faith is mature, this will naturally come. Does that answer? Till that time, even if you give them sadhu sangha, they will try to go away from sadhu sangha. Means the faith is not really matured. The faith means it's more superficial.
Okay. So yeah, it's very difficult to understand how long it's gonna take. Like if somebody is already listening from 1 year, but they did not give up the meat and the non-veg things. So the faith is weak, Prabhuji, then.
Faith is weak. So you're saying somebody is in sadhu sangha and they're not
I
able
mean,
to give up?
not like pure sadhu sangha, but like hearing classes, coming temple, but they're still eating non-veg, and it's been a while, like more than 1 year. So I think what we should do, we should still try to support them. We should still
Yeah,
try
okay,
to.
thank you. Prabhupada says don't attack them where they are weak. Once they know the principle, they know what is right, what is wrong. Now we should only try to increase their engagement in bhakti. As the heart becomes more and more pure, Paramatma will inspire them when they are ready. Once they gain more strength, more conviction, once they become more serious, they will naturally give up everything unconducive. If we simply again and again repeat which they don't want to hear, then they will go against us. They may give up, or they may not be very much inclined because they think that we are attacking their comfort zone. So I think the best is we have some surveys. Whatever they like doing in bhakti, engage them more in a way they like doing in bhakti. And as time with bhakti with sadhus increase, everything is a byproduct of that. Some people, based on how advanced they are in previous lives, some people take less time and grow very quickly, and that's just their bhakti from past life. Some people take more time, but Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti does not have any such qualification, little faith. If they are hearing from sadhu, means faith is there. Otherwise, Krishna will not give them sadhu sangha. But among Kanishta, whose faith is weak, there is Kanishta, 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 Madhyama, Kanishta, Uttama. There is Kanishta, 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 Madhyama, Kanishta, Kanishta, Uttama. Then Kanishta, Madhyama, Kanishta, Kanishta, Madhyama, Madhyama, Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. So there are various level of faith in Kanishta Adhikari also. More engagement in bhakti will purify. As the heart becomes purified, the faith will naturally awaken.
Yes, Prabhuji. We should not lose our hope. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Definitely. If they are in touch with bhakti, everything will fall in place. We just only encourage them bhakti. And if they're hearing sadhu sangha, they are hearing. What is right, what is wrong, they know. Now no need to attack them. Just friendship and bhakti.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, thank you very much for your shelter and the nectar. The more I hear from you, the closer I get to Krishna. It's just amazing. I can listen to you all night and all day. It's just enlightens me, Prabhuji.
Maybe.
I know you are so tired. You got to go back driving. So, I mean, I thought I'd say a little bit that I would love to see you more and more. I will definitely see you next Saturday. Prabhuji, drive carefully, and I'll see you next week. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your encouragement.
Hare Krishna, Babaji, miss you. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Atul ne mai Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam,
I have a
Prabhuji. Thank you
question.
so much for class, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam. I think Atul ne mai Prabhu has something.
Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhuji, you said even 4 Kumaras, right, they are Brahman realization. So, still, you said they are neophyte. Will you consider as neophyte? Brahman realization.
Very good question, Prabhu. Actually, Madhyama means great faith in Krishna. Kanishta means neophyte. Kanishta means faith is weak. Faith in Krishna is weak. But when someone is Brahman realized and not Bhagwan realized, they are pure-hearted, but they don't have faith in Krishna. So they're still considered Kanishta. But when they understand Krishna, they may go from Kanishta to Uttama very, very quickly compared to those who have a lot of material attachments. They saw Narayan and immediately pure love. Uttama ban gaye Prabhu in no time. But because they don't have, as per definition, They don't have faith in Krishna and Narayan, their form. And they don't have knowledge also, Shastric knowledge, clarity in knowledge. That's why they think Brahman is supreme, there is no form. Means Shastra is not clear, faith in Krishna is not there. So they come under the Kanishthadikari only. All four are considered Kanishthadikari or Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakta. But they are all still differently, impurities or purity of their heart is still different, and their progress speed will also be different. Does that address, Prabhuji, your question?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. So by birth, they were Brahman realized.
Prabhu, great souls. Our sampradayas, they have their own sampradaya, but they became quickly prema realized.
I mean, directly, I was also, Yugal Kishore Prabhuji said, there are two people, they went directly, I think in previous classes also you said, if someone is in Brahman realization, so if they want to progress again, then they have to come back to the earth and do, and then they can go further, right? There is no direct way from Brahman to Vaikuntha or Goloka.
Well, exceptions are there, Prabhupada said, Prabhuji. In Brahman, attaining Brahman realization, attaining the Brahman platform, you have to do your sadhana, and then there is a chance of progress, of meeting the associates of Lord Shiva, and Gokumar went there. There are exceptions are always there in every situation, but generally speaking, they fall down because of no service. Nature of Jiva is to render service, so they come down to do some service, and they are pure-hearted. They open hospitals, they do various things with a pure heart to serve others, and there, by Krishna's arrangement, by their good fortune, if they meet a pure devotee of the Lord and they hear Bhagavatam, the glories of the Lord, they will immediately be attracted, just like dry grass and fire. Because they are pure-hearted, they will be attracted to Krishna. Once they're attracted to Krishna, they will take a pure devotional service, and then they go back to Goloka.
Okay, so what now we are ending, so we can ask, you can tell the story next time. What was the story? How they directly went from Brahman to Goloka or Vaikuntha?
Well,
Like
for that,
they did not fall down.
you mean the four Kumaras?
Yes, yes.
Well, bro, four Kumaras, they attained Brahman, they went, then they were exploring Vaikuntha, they were going to different gates, they never saw Narayan, they don't even have faith in Narayan. They were going, and then they know Narayan is there, but somehow their understanding of Brahman realizes Narayan also comes from Brahman. So there is some kind of misunderstanding from that perspective is there. It's not that they don't have faith in Narayan, but Brahman is supreme. So that's their understanding. The Vaikuntha Lokas, they were crossing, they were stopped by Jay and Vijay when they saw Narayan. Then they felt such bliss. They were Brahman realized, they know the bliss of Brahman. When they saw personal form of Narayan, they felt like millions of times more enlivened by that interaction, by seeing the Lord, by smelling the tulsi from the lotus feet of the Lord, that they forgot the pleasure of Brahmananda. This is also spoken by Prahlad Maharaj when he saw Nrsingadev. We were discussing last week. When he saw Nrsingadev, this comes in, pure devotional service, derived liberation. Prahlad Maharaj says, the bliss I am experiencing in your presence, my Lord, I deride the pleasure of Brahman as completely insignificant. Because they can compare, like we have tasted material pleasure. We taste, say, Kirtan, so we can know this is much higher than our material pleasure. So we know this high, we want this. We don't want that now. Because if I go there, I will lose Kirtan. I will lose holy name. I will lose Bhakti. This is higher, so I will get to this. They can compare between Brahman realization and Bhagwan realization. They became attached, and now they became personal realized.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So I had second question, but Himanshu Prabhu already asked the same question. So, but I have following question in Naimisharanyas, sages of Naimisharanyas. They have some material attachment, desires.
They don't have material desire for home or a car, but siddhis. And
So Not all sages, Prabhuji, or few sages only?
I mean, it's hard to say. Sonakrishi is self-realized soul. Sutta Goswami is self-realized soul. But others, they name and fame, subtle desires are there, Prabhu. Otherwise, why would they still be in this material world? Why will they not be practicing pure devotional service? Means contamination is there. It has not awakened yet. Correct, right?
Yes.
And whatever their conception is, their higher planet, lower planet, way more advanced souls than us. Agreed. But some subtle impurities are there.
I mean, can we consider this material desire also because they were doing a yagya, right, for the sake of the people? I mean, in future, Kali Yuga, it will be good for.
That's compassion, bro. Make Kali Yuga is coming, people will be suffering. What is the way out? Benefit of the people because they're going to suffer.
benefit of the
Vyasadeva also had that. Oh, Kali Yuga is coming. What is going to happen in Kali Yuga? How can people be saved? Narad Muni asked the same question. How can people of Kali Yuga be saved? To Brahma and Kali Chantra Upanishad, Brahmaji said the 16 names of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that is there. Naturally, when we become more and more pure, compassion arises more and more. But then still, there are subtle desires.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for clarifying, clearing doubt.
Prabhuji, I have one more question, Prabhuji. If I,
Bataiye, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, like when you said so Gajendra and Dhruva Maharaj, so both are, one is out of distress and another one is out of wealth, correct? So both
Yes.
are in the same level, or in these two also one is above or one is below?
Prabhu, both other desires naturally. Like Gajendra also would like material opulence and
But I mean, like Gajendra is an example. No, what I'm trying to understand, like a devotee who is a person who is in a distress and then surrender to Krishna, and person looking for wealth and then surrender to Krishna. I mean, these are the shastric example, but I just want to understand the person who fall in these kind of category. So
who's more
who is,
advanced.
yeah, just want to understand. Probably or both are at the same level.
Yeah,
And
this
another question on that follow up, like when Parikshit Maharaj got 7 days curse, like he's gonna die, he was out of kind of a distress and he renounced everything, correct? So and he also went to the trying to look for person, and then he got Sukadev Goswami, and he got the Bhagavatam, correct? So he's also, I think, somehow distressed. I should I consider that also as a distress, because or I
yes.
should consider, and then can we compare that also with the Gajendra in that? Because but Darshan Maharaj is a pure devotee, because I'm little confused somehow when you are talking. Then I was thinking on it, so just want to clarify my doubt. He's in out of distress, but he's a devotee because he saw Krishna in the womb of his mother, correct? So just want to clarify. And
So
first
Prabhu,
question first, Prabhuji. Yeah, first question first.
So, I mean, I think both are related. Pure devotees can be in distress, Prabhu. Like Srila Prabhupada said, I was depressed when I was in the West and nobody is taking up Krishna consciousness. When Prabhupada came, I was depressed. Why? Because no encouragement. This is Swami Prabhupada. And we see Uttara was distressed when the Ashwadhamas Brahmastra came. So I think being distressed does not necessarily mean that they may or may not have material desires.
we can't compare with the Gajendra in that case, correct?
Yeah, we cannot compare because Gajendra was attached to, his wife, if their children is there and he is enjoying. So that's different case than Parikshit Maharaj, which today we were discussing in the morning, as staunch devotee as Prahlad. He was always Parikshit, he was always looking for Narayan in every living entity. So different, completely, very high consciousness of Maharaj Parikshit. And he wanted to actually glorify Krishna. He wanted to hear glories of Krishna. He wanted to know what is the duty, what should I do, how do I worship Krishna now? I want to go back to Krishna. His father is a pure devotee. His great grandfather is a pure devotee. His lineage is pure devotee. Yudhishthira, Draupadi, Kunti. Parikshit, what a glory of Parikshit Maharaj.
How about Prabhuji, like distress and wealth, like both are in the same level?
No, Prabhu, see, that's why I said, we cannot say that, because somebody can be distressed and no desire for wealth. Somebody who is desiring wealth certainly is a material desire. But we see even Uttara and Parikshit Maharaj getting distressed. So I don't think we can really compare them, Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, in this case, like Dhruva Maharaj and Gajendra, that I understood now. So in this, both are at the same level?
That I don't know, Prabhu.
Okay.
I mean, we hear that Gajendra was a great devotee in his previous life. He was a great sage. We hear that. So, yeah. Dhruva in his previous life, I don't remember. But I know that he had a great desire to be wealthy, and that desire came back. Yeah, I cannot compare them.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So thank you all very much for joining. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta-koti Vaishnava ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you for tolerating me.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Dandavad Pranam. Hare Krishna.